Early candidate for set of the year, Dominaria Remastered has taken a turn and gone straight to the dumpster. But in the data for every single sold listing on TCG Player, is there something interesting? Oh yeah, something that we haven't seen with any other Magic set we're currently tracking. Dominaria Remastered was the latest remastered set to release, the first month of 2023. And while this set boasted an insane limited play experience, cool retro frame treatments that, we've proven that we love to chase, and collector boxes that felt like they were packed with value, the community has heard news of several restocks, maybe an overprinting, and has since, kind of turned on the product. Values of this product on TCG Player are at an all-time low right now and really don't show any signs of turning around. But I gotta tell you, when looking at the data for every single sold listing of sealed product on TCG Player, there's something you see with Dominaria Remastered that you don't see with any other Magic the Gathering product we're tracking, and might be a trend as to what the regular enthusiasts like you and me want. So today we're going to look over the data. I'm going to tell you what that weird trend is going to be, and I'm going to say what that could do to Wizards of the Coast in the future, and how that applies directly right now with Commander Masters and things like $400 freaking set boxes. All right, let's get into some of the sales data. And not to okie doke you at all, but before we get into the data, which this is fascinating. I love stuff like this, but I think there's a big issue we need to talk about first. And that's the fact that we are going to mention the price of this product. And frankly, you can go on TCG Player right now and get a draft box for about $164, $165 shipped right to your door. And while we complain about the product, I want us to keep one thing in mind as regular enthusiasts. This might be a super low price for this product, and it might be our investors or collectors are complaining because, oh, this product's tanking in value, I put a bunch of it on my shelf. But the real problem here is the fact that we're going to look at data that shows that this product is selling in droves. Thousands of boxes, millions of dollars are flowing through to this product, and because our game stores are forced to purchase this at such a high price and then have to sell it because of the quantity of boxes out there at such a low number, even on some of the best product in our community that we've seen in a while, game stores cannot make a buck. So let's keep that in mind as we check out every single sold listing on TCG Player. Here we have a record of every single sold listing on TCG Player. That's right, I track this data for every Magic the Gathering release, and I'm going to continue to track it all year. So if you like conversations like this and trying to be the smarter Magic consumer, make sure you click the subscribe button and stick around for a little while. So the first thing we have to talk about with any set is let's talk about how much money it's made. And it's made, on TCG Player like $1.4 million. This set is doing really well. It's selling tons of boxes. And when compared to other standard sets like Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One and even, the Brothers War, two very popular sets, it's doing extremely well. We see kind of a, box distribution as to what's selling in the first pie graph here. And it's kind of similar with a weird exception, because this is a 2-SKU product, right? The first, point we're going to notice, collector boxes always seem to be about 30%. They oscillate anywhere between like 27 and 33% of total products sold on the platform. And, in this case, draft box just makes up the rest of it. But remember, we only have 2 SKUs here, and we're missing that ever important set box. And there might have been some weirdness in here. We'll talk about it in a second. Let's kind of get through the rest of the data. But there's some interesting things with that missing set box. It's important to note that total spend for the product is, as always, most people are spending the most money on the collector box. Listen, that's no surprise. We spend money on collector boxes. We like the notion of collector boxes and being able to open something special. Or can we? We're also spending a good amount of money on draft boxes. And the last thing I want to talk about with this data is kind of the month-to-month breakdown. This is the newest edition. So if you're a patron at patreon.com/hometowntcg and these forms are available to you, I've added these to the product by product tabs in the spreadsheet where you can see how much of the product and what value the product's selling at in each individual month. And Dominaria Remastered is really not super exciting here. We see the fact that in the release month and, pre-release month even, the sales go high and they go up and it's crazy. But then after product release, we see the same thing we see with most Magic the Gathering sets. Because of this crazy rapid release cycle and this consumption of so many products, we seem to just kind of put it down and forget about it. The one thing we do seem to keep buying is the collector box. You see, in March, we've sold $12,000 worth of collector boxes. We sold 56 of them. And the draft box, we've only sold 73 and $11,000 worth. So it is a little bit more in favor of the draft box, but the collector box is creeping up there as we go on. I believe this could be a function of, we're playing new products, we're going to all these pre-releases. We don't really think to go back and draft these sets because they're coming at us so fast. But why is this data different than everything else? What's the weirdness here? The weirdness here stems from the lack of the set box. Without the set box, it seems that the community would only have one place to turn to scratch that itch of cracking packs and, opening product and adding cards to their binder. But Wizards did something super interesting when it comes to Dominaria Remastered. They actually, kind of juiced the draft box a little bit, and didn't juice it by changing the number of rares or things you get or pull rates or anything like that. They juiced it by saying, hey, anything you can get in the collector box, you can open in the draft box. This draft box is now a versatile opportunity for people who have a maybe less of a budget that can't buy a collector box. They want to open a bunch of packs instead of just 12, and they got the chance to open any kind of foil, shiny, ultimate, retro frame, amazing thing that you could get in the collector box. So now you can safely purchase a draft box, have a bunch of friends over, you can buy the whole box, let everyone draft it, collect the rares afterwards. Everyone can buy their own equal share and be excited about what they open. It's a far more versatile product than the regular draft box, and I love this. I love this for us enthusiasts. I love this for our community, because one day I'm going to pull some of these off my shelf. I'm going to have friends over, I'm going to draft it, and that's just going to be such a good feeling to know, like, hey, we could crack anything at any given time. But I want to know from you guys, do you think that makes a difference? If we're going to not have the set box in some of these products, do you like the idea of the draft box being available to everyone, being that exciting product to open? Or like, hey, do you just want the collector box to stay special and stay, kind of where all the bling is? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Again, if you like the vibe around here, the best thing you can do is click that subscribe button, because we just passed 5K. We're on our way to 5,100 already. You guys are incredible. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And then also, like I say every video, share this video with a friend or group of friends, because I like comments. I like interacting with the channel. I love conversation with you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, you all know me. My name is Josh, and I hope you get a chance to get out and play some sweet Dominaria Remastered Limited. See you later.